Hello, everyone. This is Gerald, and we are back with Spiritual Talks with Gerald. I am your host, Gerald, and today, prepare to be blown away because we're going to go into a deep dive on how to change your perspective, like how to really get the best out of life, how to open your eyes and see the better horizon. A lot of times and today we're going to go over four things. I'm going to give you four keys, four simple ways to just really change your outlook, your perspective, your view, because I think that's what's dreading a lot of us. We are seeing things worse as they are versus seeing things just as they are. And that's the first thing I want to talk about. Seeing things just as they are, not worse as they are. And that means don't catastrophize and be dramatic about things that are really not as bad as they appear to be. Sometimes we take the smallest thing and we blow it up and make it bigger than what it really is. We put so much energy on something that all we have to do is sit down, look at it, and piece by piece, one moment by moment, step by step, take care of it. But instead, we get all emotional about it. We get all dramatic about it. We get in our feelings, and then we start making irrational decisions, start getting anxiety. Why? Because you're looking at things worse than they are, and not just simply looking at things as they are, just simply, right? That's the first thing, right? On how to change your perspective is just seeing things as they are, not catastrophizing, not going into the woe is me, oh my God, what am I gonna do? It's like, no, you have been in worse situations and gotten out of worse, and you need to remember that. And remember that this isn't worse. This is just allowing you to get better. Right? So see things as they are. It's the first thing that you can do to change your perspective. The second thing you can do on how to change your perspective is just look for the opportunity and stuff. There are encounters inside of the opportunities if you change your perspectives. Anything that you encounter can have a silver lining. It can have a beautiful thing. I'll give you a really great example. Let's just say you're sitting in traffic, right? And you typically take this particular route home, and the traffic's so bad you can't get through, and you're like, oh my God, there has to be another way around this. So guess what you do? You go on your Google Maps, or you look around and you're like, okay, wait, I see there's a different route. And on this different route, right, you're having a change of perspective, because you could just sit in the traffic and wait like everyone else and sit there and figure out, if the traffic's ever going to move. Or you change your perspective and say, you know what, I wonder if there's a better way home. And on your way home, guess what happens? You run into the love of your life. You find that house you were looking for. You find that school that you've been trying to look for your kid. You find that golf course, or because you changed your perspective, right? You run into something magnificent because you're looking for the opportunity in every encounter. You're looking for, you know what? Because I get to go a different way, I wonder what I'm going to find. I wonder what cool thing is going to be on this new route to work. I wonder what cool thing is going to be on this new job, this new neighborhood, this new activity that I'm doing. I wonder what fun things are going to happen. And you start to change your perspective on what you're expecting. You start looking for the opportunity in every encounter. That's the second thing you can do on changing your perspective, right? The third thing you want to do, you want to be open-minded, right? You want to be open-minded to the beauty of what if this works? That's a good way to change your perspective. Instead of saying, oh my God, this isn't going to work. Oh my God, this is so bad. How is this ever going to work? No. What if you changed your outlook and said, you know what? What if this does work? What if I do get the promotion? What if I do lose this weight? What if I do get my marriage together? What if my kids do get accepted into this college, this school, this daycare, what if I can stop this addiction? What if this works one more time? What if I try one more time and this works? Because I'm open-minded to the beauty of what if, right? Actions take place when there's perception. Actions can take place when you perceive something, right? When you see something and you can start to see the beauty of what if this works out? What if this is the most beautiful moment in my life? And when you start accepting and expecting what if beauty moments, guess what? Those things start showing up. You ever hear people say, oh, the bad things always happen to me? And guess what? The bad things always happen to them. What if you start to say and change your perspective of, oh my God, what if this is beautiful? What if this works out? Changing your mind and your perception, your perspective on what if this works. That's the third thing. The fourth thing you can do is empowering your belief system. I think having an empowering belief system is critical. And why is it so critical? It's critical because what you tell yourself, your level of self-belief, your belief system, it could either empower you or disempower you. And what you allow yourself to say to yourself, you are going to believe it, right? What you are saying to yourself, you're going to believe it. What am I telling myself? What am I listening to? Is it empowering me? Is it lifting me up? Is it inspirational, right? Is it encouraging? And are you speaking encouraging words to yourself? I am amazing. I am confident. I am secure. And guess what? You are. Because when you tell yourself something long enough, you start to believe it. Just like all the negative stuff you tell yourself and you let others tell you and you decide to believe it, you can tell yourself you are a winner. This is my time. Now is the opportunity. I am changing my perspective. I'm changing my mechanical routine. A lot of times we are so locked in our routine, we can't even see a different perspective. Oof, let that breathe. We are so locked into our ways of being, our ways of thinking, that we can't even see it. You've been negative for so long, you can't even think positively anymore. You're like, what do you mean, what if? What do you mean it could work? I'm such a negative Nelly, I don't have a positive bone. And literally, this starts to be your personality, and you wonder why your life isn't shifting. You wonder why you can't manifest. You're locked into this routine way of thinking, this mechanical mind. Your memory is locked into these ways and these past ways of understanding, and you can't change your perspective that way. So one must start to be aware that my mind is operating off of memory, and the memory is operating off the past, and the past doesn't allow me to see what's in front of me. There's like this mirage, this smoke and mirror over your future, because you're so disillusioned by the routine of the past, right? So having an empowering belief system allows you, right, to know when you're in too much of a routine, to know when it's time to change the perspective, right? Because you're constantly looking at, what am I believing and what is it doing to me? How am I showing up in the world, right? And these are some ways, right? And I'm all four of these ways, right, are allowing you to tap into your highest level of being. Why? You are now start to awakening to a level of consciousness, a higher level of consciousness, a higher state of being and awareness, right? An awareness of, what is my perspective? And am I willing to change it? Am I so locked into the routine that I don't even realize my perspective hasn't changed in 20 years? And that's why my life hasn't changed in 20 years, right? Because my perspective hasn't changed. So allow yourself to open up, right? And identify some key ways and belief systems that can allow you to change your perspective. And if this is adding value, I want you guys to go and subscribe, follow, give this a like on Spotify, Apple, and also YouTube for the video version of this podcast. So if this is exciting with Spiritual Talks with Gerald, you can get more more of this on YouTube. We have the YouTube version of this breakdown, so you can see this on video. And also we can tap into Instagram, Facebook at GeraldFears, and you can follow this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music as well, and we're on Audible. So yeah, follow us on Audible, Amazon Music, Spiritual Talks with Gerald on Apple and Spotify. And I'm so excited to bring in some really, really important guests, and we're going to talk about fitness, and we're going to talk about health, and we're going to talk about how all these things and alkaline and working out, how is it affecting us mentally, spiritually? What happens when we do these things? What happens when we don't? And what's the benefit? So I'm so excited, and I hope today that you see how to change your perspective. If this added value, again, share this, like, subscribe, follow, and until next time, I'll see you on the next podcast. Bye.